So I get up every morning, usually between 4 to 4:30 a.m. Usually try to get a run in, and then it's off to the first archery practice of the day. My name is Grant Smith. I'm 32 years old. I'm from Sunbury, Ohio, and I'm addicted to archery. I'm the director of operations for Muth & Company Roofing. I really love my job. It can be a grind, but when you work with great people, it's not that bad. It's really like a family here, and I'm truly blessed that we have a small warehouse space that I can shoot in before work. After work, it's the second practice of the day. I'm typically shooting between 70 to 75 yards. First got into archery, I was probably between 8 to 10 years old. My dad got my brother and I a couple of little brave bows, and we would shoot them in our yard and at our family's property in Hocking Hills. After that, we got into hunting, and I hunted all through middle school, high school, and college, mainly with a muzzleloader. But we were always interested in hunting, and we eventually fell in love with it. But hunting did fall second to my first love, which is football. I played at Hargrave Military Academy in Chatham, Virginia, and then I went on to play college football, Division II for Malone University in Canton, Ohio. While at Malone, I joined the United States Marine Corps, the Infantry Reserves, and during my time in the Marine Corps is when I fell in love with marksmanship. I always qualified as an expert in the Marines, and I was always towards the top of my infantry company when it came to marksmanship. It wasn't really till after football that I fell back in love with archery. I picked back up the bow and I started shooting just because it made me feel relaxed. Next thing you know, I was addicted to bow hunting and starting to shoot in tournaments. There's absolutely no feeling in the world like being 20 feet up in a tree, admiring God's beautiful creation, and having a 10-point buck step out in front of you. Your adrenaline's flowing, your heart's racing. It's my drug, and it's what I dream about year round. I remember watching a hunting show on the Outdoors channel, and I honestly can't remember the name of the show, but it absolutely blew my mind that these guys were being paid to do what they love for a living. It was around that time that I started getting more serious. I started shooting on the ASA Pro-Am Tour in the known 50 class and started filming my own hunts. For me, it was a win-win. I have a great job. I was going to pursue my passion on the side, and if I happen to make a little bit of money in that process, then that was just all a bonus to me. So filming hunts can be a little tricky, especially when you solo film. I found this out the hard way. I failed for about 3 years. I learned from my mistakes, picked myself up. I kept grinding, and eventually I started to get my own content. It presented a new challenge to me. Not only were you trying to put game on the ground, which is hard enough within itself, but now you have to get it on camera by yourself. I started out with a GoPro Hero 3 and slowly upgraded the years to a Canon that I have now. So in between, I kind of progressed with cameras a little bit. Since I live in Ohio, I'm a huge whitetail hunter, but the last couple of years I've grown very fond of turkey hunting. I don't know if it's just because I usually turkey hunt with my dad, but last year I did end up taking my first turkey with a compound bow, and I happened to get it on film by myself. So I'm not sure what it is about the thunder chicken, but man, they are fun to hunt. And again, maybe it's just because I'm spending time with my dad and it's springtime, things are starting to warm up. I love archery and I love bow hunting, but things really got interesting once trick shot videos started. So I believe my first trick shot video was probably the bow juggle. This is the bow juggle.
Toss. Toss. Yeah, baby! Woo! Toss. Yes!
So my brother Ross, my younger brother Ross, he's a social media influencer. And he was the one that he talked me into doing this trick shot video. So he flies this guy in, Juggling Josh from like Texas, I believe. And he flies this guy in to do a bunch of trick shot videos with him. And he calls me and he's like, hey man, I need your help. I need you to come shoot these rings for me. And at the time I was like, sure, why not? I get there and I was absolutely petrified, like petrified. Right when I got there, I YouTube arrow through plexiglass. So my brother had made these like plexiglass barriers, and he said that was going to be the kid's protection while he's juggling the rings and I'm shooting over top his head basically. So I YouTube this and this arrow just blows through the plexiglass, just clean through. So I think we ended up nailing it on like the second try, but the problem was the arrow didn't stick to the ring. So we ended up having to do a few more takes, finally got out of there. But I would say that would probably be the start to doing trick shots and making videos and things like that. After that video, I did probably the greatest trick shot video I'll ever have. It was a 100-yard gender reveal shot. And what makes it so special to me is because, you know, the love of my life, my little girl, that's when I found out I was having her. And I would have bet money on it that it was going to be a boy. So my mind was blowing when I saw pink come out of this thing. Everybody kept telling me, hey man, it's going to change your life. But when she was born, I really felt no different. But a couple of weeks after, it really started sinking in. I got to a point where if I couldn't have my little girl with me, whether it was bow hunting or shooting, then I really just didn't want to even be out there. So I've had to come around on that a little bit. Had to make some adjustments. Dad's getting used to it, but we're still a work in progress. I'm still struggling with it a little bit. Then about 6 months ago, right about 6 months ago, I started my YouTube channel. Well, I'd had the channel, but I really started posting content to it. And I've been producing more and more content, and it's been a lot of fun. The whole process has been fun. Making videos, watching the channel grow has been fun. I have huge plans moving forward for the channel. There's going to be a lot of hunting content, trick shot content, product review content, shoot-offs planned for this upcoming year. I got a lot of stuff planned. I'm really excited about it. My current rigs, I should say, for target and 3D archery, I'm shooting the 2019 Hoyt Prevail. My hunting bow, here she is, got her right here. This is the old girl. This is the 2012 Vector 35. And I gotta say, Hoyt, they kind of did themselves a disservice. They make bows too well. I've loved this thing. I've tried to get rid of it. I haven't been able to. I fell in love with this bow. It's just been easy to shoot. I've tried to move on. But for the past 8 years, I haven't been able to. I did order the brand new RX 5 a couple weeks ago. Blackout Ultra Edition. So it's going to be the 34-inch axle. Right now, we're just really counting down the weeks till it'll get here. Hopefully, it's closer to days now. So super pumped for that bow to arrive. To me, outside of God and family, archery and bow hunting is life. It's what gets me excited. It's in getting new people into it also gets me excited. It's part of protecting and preserving bow hunting. This past year, I got 2 non-hunters into bow hunting. I really think I got them addicted now. As bow hunters, if we're not trying to build what we love and pass it on to the next generation, my philosophy is we're not protecting it. So I try to cherish every single day with my daughter. I really do. I don't want her to grow up. But at the same time, I can't wait till I can get a bow in her hands and I can take her out in the woods, take her bow hunting with me, take her to tournaments. I want to share what I love, what I'm passionate about with the people that I love. My name's Grant Smith. This is The Grind.